Alright, doesn't matter what party you bring with you. As far as I know, it's just a party, a bunch of dialogues that I have to go through. So if no one is interested in the lore or any of that, I assume it's going to be a boring 15-minute segment. But I'll try my best to make it quick and enlightening, right? Once again, the story overall is nothing mind-blowing. Most RPGs aren't really. It's the usual, you know. You're the hero, the chosen one, and all that jazz. But for the sake of continuity, I feel like I should, you know, go through it. Alright, we have already seen this before I had to reload, so I'm gonna skip it. The crowd below is roiling, their electrified exultation filling the air of Darkonus. Thousands of throats chant your name. You are at the apex of this world and all others. Rejoice, subjects of Darkonus, you have been granted the felicity of witnessing your master, a great honor bestowed upon us by the rogue trader Magnus von Valancius, gracious savior of Darkonus and vanquisher of blaspheming inhumans. May their unholy kind perish in the flames of righteousness. Cleanser of Janus, who with one hand brought death upon the blaspheming Xenos and the other exterminated the despicable worshippers of the archenemy. A hush falls over the crowd, who gaze upon you in adoration. Many of them bear terrible scars from the recent battle of Darkonus. Like children, they await the word of their almighty father. And we have a dogma choice, so we gotta go through with it to get more points. Praise the Emperor, faithful souls. The darkness around us may be fierce, but the blaze in our hearts is fiercer still. Evil will burn. Kind of fitting for a Pyro guy, eh? The crowd erupts in frenzied cries. Hundreds of people pull out knives and, with ardent, jubilant howls, carve crude, bleeding aculas on their faces. Jesus. Okay. Sharing in the martyrdom of the protector of humankind, the God Emperor. Making the sign of the Aquila, Argenta shouts out, Emperor, keep the von Valancius dynasty. The crowd zealously picks up the chant, repeating it. I am impressed. Darkonus adores its ruler, no less than we adore our rulers on Ifrit. I like it, Shireen. Let the oath of the von Valancius dynasty be taken. Please repeat after me. Your lord, I, Magnus Rogue Trader, by the grace of the Emperor, vow to be the paragon of humanity. Okay. Unbroken by adversity, to walk bravely first into darkness, to unite and reclaim what was lost, to triumph over nightmares untold, to hold boldly the reins of fate, to walk steadily on the road of thorns, through pain to greatness. You hear a rumble, it is the roar of the sea of your subjects with jubilation and devout fear. They welcome your ascension, it is done. Coolio, alright. Now, this is like a party sequence. Nothing amazing happens here, as far as I know. But I will quickly go over any checks that I will probably fail most of, because these checks require my party around. If you're unfamiliar with how these games work, we somehow passed it. God damn. All these checks, depending on how you set up your party, they take the highest value of your party members to do these checks. And since I'm solo right now, all these checks are by some miracle passing, which I'm not going to complain about. There's a bunch of lore stuff for those interested, and like 10 XP, 8 XP here and there. You know, sure we'll partake in the action as well. We could shoot some of the invaders that came to our world. You know. Bit of a show off right now. Yeah, thank you. Shower me with what is that? Okay. I believe that is all here, so. You can talk to a few of them. However, you're not really... You don't need to, I think. Oh? Maybe you do. This is a great day, your lordship. Okay. I welcome you to my palace, honored guests. These are like the nobles. You are buffeted by a salvo of congratulations and compliments. Iconoclast, study the faces of the nobles. Sure. Drivestem is obviously still the leader of the Darkonis aristocracy, but judging by the courtesy he has shown to young Sourback, he clearly wants to strengthen his relationship with that house. The senior Sourback and Caprak are whispering in another corner. Sourback, whose family seems to be giving you the cold shoulder, must be trying to sway Caprak to his side, which could be quite advantageous to Lady Caprak. After all, the disaster on Kiavagama has left her family in an extremely vulnerable position. The Warsurians stand apart, their exclusion from the rest palpable. Getting a background on these families, while not mandatory, it will shed light on what events might unfold in the future. I already know what's going to happen, so I am ready to accept your congratulations. Sure. Are these gifts? Cool. Severed hand. Drakari weapons? I was hoping for something cooler, but fine. In that case, allow me to be the first to offer them. My soldiers took this splendid trophy from the body of the Xenos commanders. The weapon is too beautiful and forbidden for anyone but your lordship. Your lordship, how Sourback anticipates the onset of unsettled and bloody times. To make the ungodly Xenos cower at your approach, my family humbly presents you with a dozen pieces of secondary armament for your ship. This matrix grants the wearer 15 awareness. Cool. House Caprak is delighted to present you this blessed work of the Omniscience Smiths. May this locator matrix, which took the holy artisan an entire lifetime to create, always show you the right path. Your lordship, House Warsurian, possesses no relics worthy of your acceptance, but we are rich and talented and hard-working people. As a sign of our loyalty, I humbly offer you my flesh and blood. 100 of my kin will go to colonies in your protectorate and use all their talents so that the worlds in your charge may prosper. You don't have to, Lord, your presence is enough, I'd say. Nod to the Inquisitor. My greetings to the member of the Holy Inquisition. Oh, he's here. Yeah, okay. Just noticed. This guy's a big shot in the lore or the story of this game. He's been out of the picture until now. And my greetings to you, esteemed Magnus von Valancius. May shadows never darken the light of the Astronomicon that guides you. Glory to the von Valancius heir. Right. We could do it in awareness check. Probably fail it. We succeeded. The Lord Inquisitor's relaxed expression radiates an odd sense of menace. He is akin to a predator on the prowl, content to hide in the brush of a fake smile and elegant conversation, for now. And then we failed a tech thing. The tech priest augmentations seem unfamiliar and bizarre. Implants such as these are only available to members of the blessed hierarchy of the Adeptus Mechanicus, and one would not come upon such sacred relics even at the highest echelons of the nobility. We have not been introduced. An oversight, to be sure. My name is Xavier Calcazar, and I have the honor of serving as a member of the illustrious Ordo Xenos, the head of the Coronis Expanse Conclave, and the Lord Inquisitor of this region. It is my unending task to ensure the sector's readiness to meet external threats and resist internal corruption. Okay. Enjoy the party. This evening will certainly be illuminating. Right. I think it's safe to end our interaction with them. And then that should be everything. On this side of the party, at least. Just looking for unique names. That usually indicates that there is a worthy conversation to partake in. Yeah, I think we're good. Now I remember I need to do one specific one for the secret ending, so I'll hit that up first. Probably do some of the optional stuff. Just a bunch of aristocrats. If you talk to your followers, they have nothing to offer usually. But we could try. Yeah, they just quickly dismiss. Heinrichs and Sourback. Oh, this one should be entertaining. A group of aristocrats stands apart from the governor's circle. Their whispering carries a tinge of displeasure. My congratulations, your lordship. The clear leader of this gathering is a gaunt, bilious-faced man dressed in Sourback colors. This must be the Macarius himself, head of the house. May the Omnissiah grant you understanding. The woman with whom he is conversing, the one dressed in a robe with gear-shaped adornments, is Toriana Caprak. It is difficult to read her face due to it being covered in numerous augmentations. How are you these days, Toriana? The corruption of Kiabagama was a great blow to my family. The contemptible Cubist Delphum betrayed our trust, desecrated the forged cathedrals, and took my esteemed cousin's life. On behalf of my family, I humbly beg you to forgive our negligence. I am ready to accept my punishment. We could do a perception check. There is something lurking beneath Toriana's repentant expression, a grudge. It would seem that she was personally offended by the nightmare into which Cubist Delphim plunged her domain, and she feels betrayed, obviously. Do your part to heal the wounds inflicted in Kiabagama, and your house will be forgiven. I swear on the Omnissiah's all-encompassing insight we will make every effort to justify the cost of its resurrection. It was only a year ago that none could doubt House Caprak's usefulness, yet here you are, Toriana, on your knees, justifying the cost. Okay. I'm surprised you deigned to make an appearance here this evening. I am a servant of the von Valencius dynasty. Had I not come, I would have committed an act of unacceptable insolence and damaged my family's honor. His wife offers you a charming smile, as if apologizing for her husband's vitriolic tone. Her large dark eyes are brimming with curiosity. I would like to be better acquainted with your wife. Such an odd thing to say, but I'm curious. Let's see. Macarius is visibly vexed by this shift in the conversation. Of course, it came out of the blue. His wife offers you a reserved smile. It is an honor to be in your company, your lordship. I'm sure. It is a pleasure. Macarius is lucky to have such a beautiful wife, perhaps more so than you are to have him. Oh my god. We failed. You underestimate Macarius, your lordship. A man of his talents is a treasure to the one he serves. I'm very curious what would she say if I passed it, but fuck it. Let's pick all of them for the sake of the XP, if we pass it. Your countenance is familiar somehow. Could it be your resemblance to the image of Saint Malata? And we failed. I wouldn't dream of claiming to bear any resemblance to a great saint. That would be blasphemy. We're leaving a bad impression so far, but fuck it. Okay, what the fuck? Regina glances at Macarius, who is not frightened by your sudden gesture in the slightest, then looks back at you. Her voice is calm but cold. If my presence threatens my husband's life, I can humbly take my leave. I shan't continue to test Macarius' loyalty by speaking with his beautiful wife any longer. Oh, was that the intention all along? Okay. I'm glad to know that you think highly of my beauty. She blushes slightly. His face, though, her husband's face, is deep red, is only too ready to change the subject. Yeah, dude, well, apparently I was testing your loyalty. He bows his head without too much reverence. Lean toward Heinrichs. Interesting conversation. It's been very illuminating, given the plenty of food for thought. And we failed all the tests in this conversation. Stop it. Do you ever act like anything other than a grubby spy? Oh, come on. We don't want to implicate Heinrichs, who's been a great part of my party so far. Even leisure never ceased to be of help. I appreciate it. What can you tell me about my guests? Well, Sauerbeck is all but throwing darts at your portrait. He is more astute at choosing women than enemies. He is trying to entice Caprak to his side, but she's too frightened after the fiasco on Kiavagama. Alright. That is why they call it the unsleeping eye of the Inquisition. Even in sleep, I hear everything. Before this gala concludes, there is something I'd like to tell you. Be careful today. I sense that a wave of darkness will soon hit our defensive lines, and I hope that I will still get a chance to meet you there as an ally. Alright. Very ominous. That leaves 2 more conversations to partake in, I believe, or just the one for the secret ending. Which should be somewhere. Okay, yeah. This here and right here. So we'll try to knock them out pretty quickly. Incendia Corda, one of the factions we've been coming across. Magnus, it is my pleasure to congratulate you on claiming your inheritance. Now you carry upon your shoulders the great duty entrusted to us by the Emperor himself to oversee this sector and remain vigilant as we strike down any and all corruption that dares to raise its head in your domain. And then Winter Scale. You've been acquainted but a moment and you're already getting to work on the new blood with your sermons. Then again, word is that you two are as thick as thieves already. Well then, Magnus, you are on equal now? Is that all? Or is that it? He examines me as if I was a curio. Smile at Incendia. We rogue traders should stand against the evil together, shoulder to shoulder, even if someone is trying to shoulder us out of the way. These two are one of the potential optional secret companions that you could recruit at the very end of the game. So depending on how you build your character, whether it's Dogma, Iconoclast, Heresy, whatever, you have an option with a secret companion. As far as I know, this one is mostly Iconoclast based, so the more you are for the people, the more he likes you, even though once we get to the part of the story where we have a thing to do with him, it doesn't give you the impression that he's for the people per se. While Incendia, the other girl here, is more about Dogma and whatever, she kind of complements my current character quite a lot, so I'd like to welcome them both right now. This one has teeth. He knows that there are no friends among rogue traders, only rivals. Don't worry. We won't try to bite a piece out of your protectorate today, so as not to ruin the celebration. Rein in your avarice, Caligos. All that you own belongs to the Emperor. And you are nothing more than a steward, and all of the esteemed Magnus' possessions are likewise his property. Surely you would not dare to lay a claim to that which belongs to him. Okay, Cyndia, your support is greatly appreciated. As is yours, Magnus. I come bearing generous gifts for your protectorate. It is a sign of my gratitude for not being tempted. You refuse to help Footfall with shipments. Ah, okay. By the words of Footfall's masters, and not going against me, the rogue traders must unite against heresy and waywardness. I hope you will become my trusted ally and not follow in the Theodore's footsteps. You notice a peculiar wrongness about Incendia's movements, a barely perceptible fugue that makes her body try to repeat the movements it has just performed. Her chin jerks spasmodically when she turns her head, and the gestures of her fingers are slightly more chaotic and loose than they should be. Coupled with the pale skin and the tic, everything adds up to symptoms you recognize. It seems that Cyndia was once subject to cryostasis, and as she was coming out of it, some error occurred that damaged her nervous system. Diloroso, I can't pronounce his first name whatsoever. None honor without fault, noble Insignia. What point is there in targeting someone for their turpitude when the true purity can never be found? Your appearance here is unexpected, for sure. I take it you are not overly fond of Theodora. Have you gone through cryostasis? What idiot maimed the rogue trader? Could ask about this. It is a mark left by the kiss of a freezing nightmare. The ungodly aspice. Espice? Whatever. Aspice sounds kind of weird. To whom I am cursed to be related, had me imprisoned in a cryovault, as she did all our family. She was afraid that her transgressions would eventually tip the scales of our patience, and we would dethrone her. When St. Drusus missionaries discovered her secret repository, all of my kin had already died excruciating deaths due to the equipment failures. Now I was dying. It was a miracle that they pulled me out of the slumber, For 3 years I had lain within the cryovault, paralyzed, blind, alone, with the darkness, the cold, and my hope for his mercy. 3 years of imprisonment in a frozen nightmare. Only the prayers of the blessed priests had kept me from losing my mind. When I beheld light again, I swore an oath to him, to pursue aspice and other miscreants like her till my last breath, to castigate her heretics and offenders of faith. Such is my path now. Thank you for this visit, Insignia, or we could inquire who it is. Oh, this is Incendia's favorite subject. She just loves talking about aspice. The example of the contemptible ass spice is a warning to us all. Even among rogue traders, empowered by the Emperor himself, a seed of perversion can blossom. And we fail a perception check. That reprobate is my forebear and my curse. Cordo is a cruel, covetous, blaspheming monster. She fraternized with Xenos, she despised the faith, she robbed and slaughtered. She was drawn to the dark secrets. One day, she boarded her ship and vanished into the depths of the Coronis expanse. She was declared missing, but I know the bloody day will come when we see Cordo's battle flagship once more. Interesting. Alright, let's just thank them for the visit. I think that's all. The Emperor's faithful must support each other. I swear in his name, if you two start liturgy right now, I am going back to my ship. Okay, let's see. Why is he so tilted? Am I supposed to? After you and Insidia made off with my footfall, you refused to help footfall shipments of grain. Oh. So if you provide them with food, you can appease one or the other. It's bad enough that a warp storm has ravaged my protectorate and ruined my hunt, and now my dearest comrades are busy divvying up my territories behind my back. You abandoned footfall to its fate, and Lady Incendia saved its people from certain death. I heard the Caligos Winterscale was a daring explorer, hunter, and trader, but all he does is blame circumstance for his failures. Me, Incendia, the warp storm, anything but himself. I think I'll just go with this one. Or just this one. It is the truth, anyway. Caligos' eyes flare with fury. You wish to serve as an example and show everyone how to endure the whims of fate. Excellent. While footfall was in my charge, I graciously guarded at trade routes, but now their safety is no longer my concern. In accordance with my privileges, I hereby declare the Furibundus and the neighboring systems to be a free hunting zone. Any item of cargo procured in it by subject of mine will be considered fair trophy, rather than the proceeds of a piracy. Yeah, his attitude is just... I'm not a fan of it. I'm glad that the matter of footfall is settled. Of course you are. I doubt you would be glad if I came here with an army and reduced your capital to ruin. He laughs heartedly. I'd like to see you try. Enjoy the evening. I must take my leave. Or could inquire about the celebration. I like it. Looks around the hall curiously. One can instantly tell that we've been invited by a rogue trader, not some administratum bootlicker. We are conquerors of wild sectors, slayers of unknown beasts, and executioners of Xeno empires. Caligos, we should take this opportunity to learn. This is what the palace of the true rogue trader looks like, not like a Xeno menagerie, a pirate's treasure hold, or however difficult it may be for you to believe it, an orbital brothel. Yeah, this crazy conversations as these two have. They're like buzz killers, I think. Oh, believe me, I intend to enjoy myself to the full, to justify so long a voyage, if nothing else. Keep the faith, Magnus, the Emperor protects. Yeah, will do. Then, the conversation that matters the most. The secret ending one. Pascal greets you with a bow, extending congratulations to you, Magnus von Valancius, on attaining your new legal status. The servitor standing next to him is examining you obliquely. He quickly looks away upon realizing that you have noticed. What is this, servitor? It is Numos, new repository. Numos, this unit identifies as Magnus von Valancius, two-way identification complete, aka introductions are out of the way. The servitor looks at you again, no longer trying to avoid your gaze. Its face is twitching, as if the muscles have forgotten what facial expressions are, and are now struggling to make its features look amiable. We are Numos. We have made use of this receptacle to leave this ship. Greetings, Numos. We enjoy greetings. We enjoy communication. Numos require communication, and knowledge, and movement. Magus Pascal compelled us not to speak with anyone other than him or you. It is disappointing, but at least we can observe. Numos has changed since we last spoke with you, Magnus. We are now able to conceptualize our previous experience, that of solitude, and we no longer enjoy it. Pascal, I believe you intended to investigate what Numos is. Every 15 watches I commune with Numos code and spend prescribed lengths of time in calculus meditation. However, the Omnissiah has yet to bless me with an answer. All I can say is that the capabilities of the entity Numos are extraordinary. The ship's hollowed systems sink beneath his touch. Nodes that have remained dead for hundreds of standard years are revivified, and long-drained mechanisms live anew. Numos are trying. Great machines of the Imperium, ones such as your ship, house a machine spirit as complex and willful that it is difficult to tell them apart from the abominable intelligence. There remains a possibility that Numos is an entity of corruption, but with every day I grow stronger in my faith that it is not so. That's good news. That what we are witnessing is, in truth, the Omnissiah's miracle, one that is Category 5 or higher. How did the entity like you move into a servitor's body? This is not the entirety of us. This receptacle is too narrow, crude, and feeble to contain our complete whole. The existence of Numos requires a space of connections. But we are able to transfer a small part of us and build a thread strong enough to travel outside the ship. We are enjoying this journey, discovery, even though this receptacle suits us poorly. It will soon be destroyed by the force of our presence. Okay, what do you think you are? Numos are consciousness, awareness, knowledge, movement, always movement. We do not know what we are. We have no past. We awaken in the depths of the ship upon answering a call. Our first clear memory is the call of your blood. The call and the plea for help near a place that is called the Warrant Chamber. That was the tutorial area of the game. Why have you brought it here, Pascal? Entity Numos asked permission for this visit. My objective was to observe the process of integration into a servitor. We wanted to see, observe, cognize, speak. We want to speak with you. Will you speak with us? Sure. What do you wish to speak about? Many things, happenings, events, decisions. The servitor's eyes roll in their sockets before focusing on you. We have been observing you. You do things that we do not understand. We want to learn why. We remember the day when we first met you. You gave us your blood to drink. We helped you save yourself. We followed you. Our small part did. Inside the servo skull, then, there was fire, and a creature of sated hunger and dark light standing behind the curtain, behind the image, behind the semblance of Theodora. It called for you to follow. You did not follow that which was calling from behind the curtain. You walked into the fire, and the rest walked in after you. We remember the day when the Tsar disappeared, when the dark light and the sated hunger wanted to take the world of Rykad Minoris. Was his name in the ship's data? Interesting, he's taken all the choices I've made so far into consideration. He ordered that the world's heart, the old reactor, to be torn apart. Okay. The fire destroyed everything, so many human shells who were begging to be saved, but the dark light retreated. We remember another day, we awakened inside the ship, we lived in its systems, then we tried to emerge into servitors like this one. Then so many of our receptacles were gathered in one place. You came and looked at us like you understood something, but then you ordered that all the servitors be sent back to their work. You said it was just, okay, as in justice. This is what we have seen, among many other things. We have begun to understand. We think that we do not know everything about humans and about you, Magnus. We have tried analyzing shells and defining sets of their needs and fears, their simple functions. But now we think that there is more, that there is another side that we do not see, a notion that is larger than what we can compute, something that stands above fears and needs, something that drives them. We envisage this larger notion as a flame, a blaze. It burns in your blood. You are holding a mote of this flame in your hand. No matter what decision you are faced with, you want it to burn brighter. Those who turn away from the flame must be destroyed. Those who follow it, who follow you, are the only ones who deserve to live. Do Numos understand correctly? I believe this gives us more dogma points, so we'll see what Dogmatic offers. You speak of faith, of the Imperium's tenets, of the one who is above all, the Emperor. You are correct. I am his chosen, and I carry his flame into the darkness of the Coronis expanse. 4 dogma points. Cool. So Numos understood correctly. We are enjoying this movement toward a goal, this learning with a purpose. We wonder if we too can carry a mote of this flame. Or is it inside us already? We have, after all, observed a part of you with your blood. Thank you for speaking with us. Numos are grateful. We cannot continue moving on our own. Alright, interesting. This sheds more light into the secret ending in what Numos is. He is kind of like a child right now, so you could shape his consciousness in a way, right? So with that out of the way, I will return to my guest. Let me quickly check. Did I miss anything? Order the Master of Ceremonies to end it. No, yeah, we're good. Just move on. I am weary and wish to retire to my chambers. Please allow me to escort you, your lordship. Your chambers are ready, your lordship. Alright, okay. One last thing. Guards! Intrude! Quiet. Time to sleep. We need to talk. Okay. Hopefully this entire thing is voiced, so I could take a break, you know? Okay. The woman behind Calcazar, clad in black armor, glares at you, her face set in predatory readiness for immediate violence, the hallmark of a professional bodyguard. Will my servant live?
Probably. Unless he suffered from hidden ailments, he will soon come to without any major damage to his health. Either way, oblivion is a far safer option for him than the dangerous privilege of being a witness to this conversation.
I wish they would voice more text, because the voice acting is quite superb in my opinion. The woman at Calcazar's back gives you a bloodthirsty smirk. Heinrichs, I thought we were friends, but friends don't break into each other's chambers in the middle of the night with weapons, do they?
We used other means of travel to pay you this visit. I assure you, rogue trader, that all your locks are in order.
If the Inquisition wishes to have a talk with me, I am glad to be at its service. You think you could just barge into my chambers? Are you quite mad, Inquisitor?
Is that what you think? I am fully aware of what I am doing. I am outlining our relationship. Need I remind you that the unsleeping eye of the Imperium is watching you even in your bedchamber? And not just the eye, but the Imperium's sensitive hands as well. In this case, my assistants and I.
Kinky. Okay.
Master Van Kellogg's has spent enough time with you. He will vouch for your words. What stands out from your recent accomplishments is the suppression of a rebellion on Janus, the battle against the archenemy's minions on Kiava Gamma, and, of course, the unusual interest the Drakari have shown in you. Then that is what we will discuss.
After saying these words, he shoots you a searching look from under his brows, like a regicide player who just made the first move and is now watching for his opponent's reaction. Is this like chess or something? I guess so. This feels an awful lot like an interrogation. What do you wish to know about the events on Janus?
Oh, I know it already. Even though you were quite effective at removing all evidence that could point to the blunder made by House von Valancius, it is saddening to realize that the rogue trader's connivance allowed a heretic who had been fostering a cult for years to come to power.
Vestina's misdeeds are a stain upon my dynasty's honor, I admit it. Theodora was the one who appointed Vestina. What does it have to do with me? That's also true.
As my colleagues like to say, innocence proves nothing. You have inherited not just Theodora's glory and wealth, but her mistakes as well.
But I've corrected them, as far as I know. You can see for yourself. There will be a palace and everything you desire waiting for you on the planet. Oh, fuck you. I'm not gonna offer it to them. But I guess in the lore of this universe, that's how things work. Every tool has a shelf life. Vestina had reached the end of hers, and so I replaced her. Alright, we'll just admit to it being a stain on our dynasty.
Your humility is heartening. Rest assured, it will be noted during the investigation of your lamentable oversight.
How did you come to be so remarkably well informed? Well, obviously Heinrichs is relaying everything. So if you knew about what was happening on Janus, why didn't you intervene yourself? A valid question.
I cannot satisfy your curiosity without disclosing information of the utmost secrecy. I will say only this. We have the situation under control. There is a tangled knot of perilous events in progress in the Coronis expanse. Plucking even one thread must be performed with great precision and caution, without any room for error. Because you do not want to know the price of such an error, or what forms it might take.
What question could you have for me about Kiava Gamma?
Places touched by chaos must be purged with fire and condemned to oblivion. Kiava Gamma should have been bombed to dust and pronounced a forbidden world. However, you decided otherwise and restored the colony's operation. And you didn't even go to the trouble of hiding the traces of the neglect committed by your dynasty. After all, it was House von Valancius that gave Cubus Delphim so much freedom that he sank into seditious heresy. What was your rationale?
My protectorate is a complex mechanism. I wasn't willing to put its performance at risk because of some paranoid fears. Surely, I must confess this is the first time I'm hearing about this. Let the priesthood to which Cubus Delphim belongs to answer for his crimes. The Adeptus Mechanicus would do well to watch their members more closely. I wish to observe how the seeds of corruption will behave. It is prudent to study one's enemy. Alright, that's a very strategic reply in an interrogation. I think I'm gonna take this one.
I eagerly await the moment when you show me your rosette of the Holy Inquisition. Surely you have it on you. You don't? How strange. I thought that such experiments were within the purview of my esteemed colleagues from the Ordo Hereticus. I hope you realize that we're talking about more than the fate of some colony. I care not for a single planet, however profitable and populous. But should corruption raise its head again on Kiava Gamma and try to spread, I will burn it away. And you will be guilty of criminal negligence.
Okay. The Drukhari have shown an interest in me. Are you referring to my ruined capital?
Yes. The enmity between you is a known fact. But there is another way to look at it. On Veabos 6, you met the Archon of a mighty cabal, whose presence there seems strange to begin with, and lived. You subsequently encountered a number of her closest henchmen. Yet, again, you survived. Your capital fell victim to a nefarious attack, but even this time, their daggers missed your heart. Such remarkable luck. To be a personal enemy of such an influential Xenos, to have been attacked so many times, and yet make it out alive. So remarkable that one has to wonder, am I watching a spectacle? Could all these thrilling massacres be an alibi of sorts, meant to establish you once and for all as an enemy of the Xenos and never their ally or even their agent?
I'm waging a war on the Xenos, a war to the death. My worlds are being plundered and desolated. If that brands me an apostate, then I invite you to be my judge. I admit no guilt, but I agree that it does seem suspicious. What can I say? I'm lucky. That's the reason I'm alive. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this one.
Be careful with your words, rogue trader. I assure you, if the need arises, I'll require no invitation. And if my arguments sound unconvincing to you, it will not change a thing. All that matters is whether or not they sound convincing to me.
Okay, have I answered all of your questions?
Far from it, my dear. The questions are manifold. How did you manage to survive the battle that claimed the life of Theodora, who was so much more experienced and skilled than you? Is it a coincidence that you and you alone then made it out of the trap on Rycat Minoris? How much truth is there in the rumors being spread by the heretic Kunrad Voitvir about you?
Oh, that's how you pronounce his name. Okay. Voitvir.
The very existence of these questions would have made many of my colleagues doubt the quality of your character. But it won't in this case. Your transgressions are sufficient grounds to bring you before the Inquisition's judgment. And believe me when I say that if you fail to draw certain conclusions from my words, this is what will eventually happen. But for now, I am willing to show leniency, which is rather uncharacteristic of me. I hope you appreciate the generosity of this offer, as your predecessor once did.
Okay. Theodora cooperated with you. Why such an interest in my person? Blackmail, to what end? I'm a rogue trader, and this is a flagrant violation of my privileges. Is Heinrich staying in my retinue, or are you taking him back?
Which would you prefer? And you, Heinrichs, do you wish to continue working at the Honorable Rogue Trader's side?
I will comply with any order, Lord Inquisitor. If you command me to remain in the company of the scion of the von Valancius dynasty, I won't be distressed.
What's your opinion of Heinrichs? Is he a useful assistant to have? I want Heinrichs to continue to accompany me.
Then Master Van Kellogg's will remain in place. It puts me at ease to know that there is someone to watch over you.
And someone to build my ultimates faster.
I consider it an honor to accompany you.
Alright. What kind of a deal are we talking about?
I make no deals, and Emperor forbid that I give you orders. That would mean infringing on your privileges. I'm merely offering well-meaning recommendations and expecting that when the Expanse finds itself in danger, you will break away from your own affairs to heed them. I seem to remember that your exalted aristocrats presented you with many gifts. It would be rude of me not to follow suit. Please accept this gift as a sign of my favor. In an hour of need, give it to any faithful servant of the Emperor, and the Inquisition will come to your aid. The color indicates how close the bearer is to the Lord Inquisitor. White is beautiful, yet vulnerable. It stains as easily as one can lose the Inquisition's trust. Do all you can to preserve it.
The wearer's persuasion is increased by 15, and the Inquisitor's command ability that can be used once per combat. We generate 20 momentum. Burning, bleeding, and toxin effects are removed from all allies in a 5-cell radius. All allies in a 5-cell radius gain the wearer's persuasion and temporary wounds. I think I'll give this to Cassia. Cool, okay. Requires Dogmatic. Drop to one knee. Lord Inquisitor, it'll be the greatest honor to wear an oath of loyalty to you and to join the ranks of the Inquisition. Well, if it offers me more dogma points... Your zeal is impressive, Magnus. However, I cannot accept such an oath from you. At least not now. You will be more useful to the Inquisition in your current position than as a member of my coterie. Nevertheless, he also gave me a dagger. This is a gift, a sign that your fervor has not gone unnoticed. Should it remain undiminished, one day this blade will be melted down to make your inquisitorial rosette. Such is the tradition of our conclave. On a successful hit with this weapon, the target must pass a willpower resistance test with the wielder's coercion divided by 3 penalty, or immediately be moved 4 cells away, provoking attacks of opportunity. Interesting. Maybe for a assassin type build, right? Right now, I don't have use for it, but interesting. As if in confirmation of the Lord Inquisitor's words, Heinrich brings his hands to his own rosette.
Here is where we part. My shuttle is waiting. It is time for me to return to my watch, for you to sleep, and for your servant to wake up. Until next we meet.
Well, you will obviously want to discuss what just happened. But not now, I presume. Right now, it would be better for you to rest and think on the Lord Inquisitor's words in private. I bid you good night, rogue trader.
Alright, and with that, we have officially finished Chapter 2.